Hello beloved twin flames, this is Stephanie Parasha coming out to you from India, Divine Light, sorry that's my name as well, my channel name. I'm being urged to bring through another lot of information for twin flames to help support at this time. Getting that there's a massive energy shift going on. In fact, for me it felt like last night as if there was actually like an earthquake. It kind of went, sort of felt very strange energetically. Luckily, I've been feeling emotionally okay, but I know that there's a lot of people around me, particularly that are feeling these energy shifts very strongly. So what I wanted to bring through was some information that I hope will help you navigate these energies more easily and smoothly. So I'm hoping that I can get this in under 15 minutes because at the moment I'm just using my phone to record, so YouTube will only let me have 15-minute videos, so I'm going to try and keep it as short as I can and succinct as I can. So I've called this particular video codes, like cracking the code, cracking your twin flame code. So now we've known for quite a long time that the twin flame mission is an energetic one. So when we talk about energy, we mean that we're all made up of energy. So even though it looks like, you know, we're a thick, solid mass of energy, mass and matter, when we break it down scientifically and through physics, it's been proven that we are just atoms and molecules vibrating at a particular rate. Now, what makes our energy what it is actually, this is something that Einstein told us, but I don't think we completely understood at the time. Energy is actually emotion, energy in motion. So whatever emotion we're actually feeling at the time in our energy is our vibratory rate, and it is how we either attract or repel other energy in the universe because of the magnetism, the electromagnetism that our energy creates. And ultimately, we are responsible for our energy once we have the ability to have the awareness of it. Obviously, prior to that, we would have been an unconscious energy form that's basically only operating from what it's been taught through its own conditioning and through its own experience of life. So part of what's happening as we've awakened through this ascension process, we've awakened to the ability to have the awareness of our emotions and to take responsibility for them. So how does that affect twin flames? Well, because it's physics, so for every energy in the universe, as we know, the law of physics, there's an equal and opposite energetic reaction. So if we use the example we've been shown, I think the Newton's balls of perpetual motion, so when one ball goes out and then bangs into the other balls go out and bang. So that's an example of what it means when we get the equal and opposite reaction, the law of physics. Now, what I'm talking about with opposite is not necessarily opposite as in dark and light, it's just the exact opposite meaning this opposite. So let's use the example of a twin flame energy, where we're holding an emotion, an energy in motion that either we may or may not be aware of, that may not be helpful. So an emotion that perhaps has a negative charge to it. So it's a negative or lower vibratory frequency emotion that creates pretty much, what we're all hoping for, I guess, through our awakening process is that we become a higher vibratory energy form that operates on a more positive emotional charge, thereby attracting positive emotional experiences and energetic experiences towards us. So let's use the example of, and I'm using real examples of some situations in which my clients are facing that we work on together. So let's say we've got one twin over here who carries an energy of perhaps feeling unworthy or not good enough and thinks that their twin may be too amazing for them and might not want them. And when they're carrying that kind of energy of fear of not being good enough, and that then also creates more thoughts in the mind of, oh, if I'm not good enough for my twin, or they're too good for me, maybe they'll go off with someone else. And so there's all these other thoughts and feelings that are going on. The other thing that energy can create, that feeling of unworthiness and not being good enough, is the need for that validation and approval from an outside energy to let them know that they are good enough. That's the other thing that can happen. So what happens then for the equal and opposite reaction? Because when we're twins, we're completely connected energetically. So that's why we have that dynamic of the equal and opposite reaction with our twin, who creates that mirror effect for us. So what happens when this energetic twin is carrying the feelings of unworthiness and not being good enough, thinking that twin's going to be going off with someone else, or needing that other twin to tell them that they are good enough for them? Equal and opposite reaction over here, well, they're either going to get the rejection, no, you're not good enough for me, because they're going to have that, and I'm not that interested in you, and maybe I will go off with someone else, maybe I will find someone else. So you can see what's happening there with that equal and opposite reaction. Let's use an example of a positive emotion and energetic action followed by an equal and opposite reaction. So let's say this twin's done some healing on their energy, and they're now believing more in themselves, and they're feeling worthy, and they're feeling amazing, and they're feeling really positive, and they're like, I'm completely 100% sure that this is my twin, and that even though it looks like they might be going off, you know, seeing other people at the moment, I have absolute assurance that I am deserving of this connection, and that my twin will come to me when the time is right. And I believe and I trust in myself that I am worthy and I deserve this connection. So bit by bit, energetically, we're going to see a change, see a shift in that energy, and there's going to be more of a positive attraction due to that feeling of being more positive over here. So when we're talking about codes, we're talking about an energetic formula. We're talking about an energetic equation, E equals MC squared. So perhaps you have your own code within your twin flame relationship. So I'm working with a twin where I've cracked two codes. So I can give you two examples, of where we've cracked codes of a twin flame connection. So we've got one twin over here who exactly had that feeling of basically afraid that her twin did not want to be with her, does not want to be with her, afraid. Really, when we go deep down into that core wound, it is a fear of abandonment. And so whenever she becomes very triggered by that fear, she will automatically go to her twin and need approval and more love, and needs to know that needs the reassurance that her twin does want to be with her. What does that do to her twin? It pushes him away. It pushes him away further. Now, then she realizes that she has to give him space, and she has to work on herself and work on her own feelings of self-love. And when she does that, somehow or other, that automatically attracts her twin back to her. They get close again, and then she forgets that she needs to give him a little bit more space, and again, maybe she's got some residue of those feelings of abandonment and fear that start creeping in again and become. So what happens when her fear gets triggered? She becomes a little bit more clingy and needy and wanting more love, and this twin is repelled. And so whenever she realizes, I've gone too far in that direction, and I haven't continued with the formula, which is self-love, trust, and believing in the connection, that it will happen in the right timing, and giving space to her twin that needs the space, then that creates more of an energetic attraction. So that was her personal one. I'm just going to give you the example of another twin flame that I'm working with, without identifying who that is, obviously. And I just want to thank this particular twin, because when we are working together and we uncover things, and we often just through conversation and talking, we uncover things that need to be healed. And so that particular twin, when we uncovered it, had a fear of, well, just not being certain that this was going to happen, or that it was the right thing, or that he was behaving in a way that was going to be attracting the twin. So there was a lot of focus on what do I need to do, and how am I going to do this, and I'm not certain that I'm doing the right thing. And so whenever he was afraid that whether he was doing the right thing or not in relation to his twin. What does that create on the other side? I'm not really feeling it, because I'm not really sure that you're really fully in this or not, and there's a lot of foggy energy around it, because there's this uncertainty underlying, even though he's kind of thinking, right, I'm going to go towards my twin and we're going to get connected. Underlying it, there's this energy of uncertainty and a fear that whether he's doing it right or not. And then the other twin energetically will create that opposite energy, equal and opposite. So now when that twin heals up, that energy becomes completely 100% certain, and now carries, I am certain, I am 100% certain this is my twin, I'm 100% certain that I am worthy of this connection, that my twin is going to want to be with me, and that's not just in the mind. Remember, we can do it in the mind, but if we're still carrying fears energetically and emotionally, and we're not being honest with ourselves, even though we might be training our mind to say I'm certain, but yet underneath we're going, oh, I don't know if this is right, that's still what needs healing in there. If there's still that residue underneath there, the fears that are hidden, we're still really needing to work on those. And then obviously that certainty creates an energetic attraction to the other twin. It's like, wow, I really feel attracted, and then it creates the connection. So cracking your own code, can you see where you're needing energetically to figure out what it is that's repelling your twin? Or what is it that you need to create in terms of creating a stabilized energy where they can attract to? So sometimes also, I'm just going to make a mention about other codes that come into the twin flame connection, which are when we get help from on high, from spirit, because we're saying, help us out here, what am I doing? So we get our key words that are key awakening codes to our connection. So there might be words like, for example, I'll just use a word that's come up for me recently in the last week, imagination. So it was a word that my twin used, and then I heard it again, and I keep hearing this word, and inside imagination is the word magic. And we all know that twin flame, it's all magical. It's a magical realm of scientific kind of Harry Potter magical, all of this kind of unseen realm that we're needing to fully believe and trust in, which is very energetic. So maybe it's symbols, maybe it's phrases, maybe it's a song, maybe it's certain events and synchronicities and signs. These are all awakening codes for twin flames, and they're meant to kind of wake us up and go, wow, this is what I'm meant to be doing. Okay, now I know. They're kind of like symbols to just keep us going. So yeah, I think that was pretty much all I really needed to share right now. Just before I go, I just want to do a little plug, because it's within a week now, less than a week, I am going to be traveling to the Taj Mahal and preparing for our twin flame Taj Mahal activation. I've been tuning in every day to connect in with the energy of Shah Jahan. Shah Jahan and Mumtaz Mahal are the beloved twin flames, the couple, the queen and king of India at the time during the 1600s that were together, and on which the whole Taj Mahal building was based on their love for each other. And so, yeah, I mean, it might sound crazy to some people. I do not care. All I believe in as a twin flame is to create more divine love and light on this planet, particularly at this time. And now it makes sense. Why did I get this urge and signal and told that day was particularly important? For a reason, because, don't give up at this time. We need you now more than ever to be stepping into your love and your light and your power, because we need us. Okay, so if you feel the call and you feel resonant with being part of this ceremony, there's some information below. I would love to have you on board. I don't feel that this is going to be a really big group. I feel it's going to be quite a small, supportive, energetic group that's going to be more about quality than quantity, that we're bringing the quality of the heart and the soul and the love that we've developed and grown during our journeys. So I'm going to leave it there. I don't want this to be too long. Sending you out lots and lots of divine love and light from India at this time. And if you want to get in touch with me for a session, also note the details are below. Okay, bye for now.